welcome to the Whitehall Road sessions from Opera North. My name's Kate Sims and I'm here with a group of all-female musicians from the Orchestra of Opera North for a concert of works by all-female composers. Now we have 4 pieces for you tonight. The first is a short piece by the French composer Lili Boulanger. Now she was the younger sister of the well-known conductor, composer and teacher Nadia Boulanger. Now both the girls were child prodigies, but unfortunately Lili died in 1918, aged just 24 years old. The piece we're about to hear is a trio called Le Matin de Printemps, and it translates as One Spring Morning. It's the last piece she wrote before she died. Thank you very much for such a wonderful start. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, hello, thank you for watching. Please let us know you're there. You can comment in the chat box below the live player. You can also get in touch at opera_north on Twitter or at Opera North on Facebook and Instagram. Over the last few weeks, we've had viewers in Japan, Italy, Brazil and India. So please let us know where you are and what you think. You can get involved with the social media conversation using the hashtag Whitehall Road Sessions. But back to tonight and our first performance from our guest performer, Alice Zawadzki. Now, Alice is an Anglo-Polish musician, composer, vocalist and songwriter. She's probably best known for her collaborations with British jazz musicians, but really she works across all genres and has been described as a genuine original. And that's just what we're going to hear now, because here with an improvisation for violin and voice is Alice Zawadzki.
Thank you.
Alice, thank you. That was incredible. Now, Alice is going to be playing another piece in a moment with the other musicians here. They're going to be getting ready, so if you hear any noises off, don't worry, they're just preparing and sanitising the piano and things like that. So, Alice, tell me a little bit. This piece is called My Boy of the Birds. What's it all about? You wrote it, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I wrote it commissioned by Opera North about this time last year, and the idea, it can kind of mean whatever you need it to mean. That's what I had in mind when I wrote it, so for the listener to use it as a vehicle for whatever it is that they're going through at the time. The idea was that people would listen as they're walking, their state-sanctioned walks, and the time of day that it was kind of designed for was that quite liminal space between day and night, where things are changing, and there's a duality at that time. And I think what I really felt a lot at that point was that within myself and within people I knew, we were suddenly confronted by things within ourselves that we weren't perhaps acquainted with. And maybe it was a bit uncomfortable, maybe there's some tension, you know, all kinds of things that people were going through. And in a way, I was trying to, you'll hear in the piece, there's kind of two key centres happening at the same time. And I wanted to try and make that beautiful, if I could, in a way to represent, like, it's okay if things don't really make sense sometimes, or the duality can exist.
Yeah, well, I've heard it, and it is beautiful. Now, you've played the violin, you've sung for us, you're going to play the piano. Is there nothing you can't do? What other instruments can you play?
You're very sweet to say that. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I have never tried to play. But I don't know, I quite enjoy a sense of naivety sometimes when it comes to picking up instruments. I think that there's something very valuable about just enjoying the sound of something, enjoying the spirit of an instrument. So I've got a bunch of like little whistles and you know, various little instruments that I've got at home that I really enjoy engaging with in a way that's not particularly learned or that you've studied loads. You know, it's lovely to reconnect with the kind of childlike curiosity about stuff. I think it's a nice thing for us to do.
Fantastic. Well, Alice, I'll let you go and get set up at the piano.
Thank you so much.
As Alice said there, at this point, My Boy of the Birds is one of 5 pieces commissioned by Opera North for the Walking Home project. All the pieces are designed to be listened to whilst walking, because as Alice said, that's all we could do in the first lockdown. Many people will still be enjoying walking. I know I am. And the good news is those pieces are still available to listen to. If you go to the Opera North website, that's operanorth.co.uk, you can find them there. You'll also be able to search for them on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. While you're on the website, it might be worth you having a look at all the live performances that are coming up. That's right, live performances with real life people that are coming up. The first performance is in June. That's a performance of the opera Fidelio. And tickets go on sale today for the next production, which Stephen Sondheim's A Little Night Music. So do have a look. There's lots to look forward to. But back to this evening. Let's hear My Boy of the Birds with Alice Zawadzki and the musicians of the Orchestra of Opera North.
The evening Stops the very hand.
So that was amazing, as I said. Sorry if there was a short break in transmission there. I don't think Jenna took her bow off the strings the whole time, though. So it's a bit of a marathon for her, but it was very beautiful. So to our final piece this evening, and we can talk to Jessica, who is the principal cellist for Opera North. Tell us what piece we're going to be hearing now.
Hi. We're going to be playing the second piano quintet by Louise Farrenc. It's a really lovely piece, and it's got 4 movements. It starts off with quite a stately introduction, which then kind of follows into a very fizzy and sparkly andante. The slow movement, the second movement, is very elegant and quite sumptuous in parts. The third movement is very reminiscent of Mendelssohn's piano writing, and the last movement just reminds me of Schubert's Trout Quintet, and as you see, it's the same instrumentation as for the Trout Quintet, and it's very similar to that, and it was written actually 11 years after Schubert's Trout was published, so there is definite influence there.
So 1840 was when it was written. What was it like being Louise Farrenc, a female composer, during that time?
It was definitely a woman in a man's world in 19th century Paris. You certainly weren't allowed to earn a living from making music as a woman. But she was a very strong, feisty lady by all accounts, and I think she had a lot of support, unlike perhaps Clara Schumann or Fanny Mendelssohn, whose husbands were very reluctant to give them any limelight. Louise had a very supportive family when she was growing up, surrounded by a lot of artists and other strong female role models. She was a phenomenal pianist, a concert pianist, and she became the first female, in fact the only female in the 19th century to become a professor of piano at the Paris Conservatoire. Not of composition though, just piano. And but she was a big advocate for equal rights, and she did not get them at the Paris Conservatoire for very many years. She was on half the salary of the male professors there, and it wasn't actually until she wrote a nonette for wind and strings, which catapulted her reputation as a composer, and then finally she won her bid to get paid the same as everybody else. So I think she was quite a feisty lady.
Yeah, and that's a story that's been replayed even now, isn't it? But she was a trailblazer. What's it like playing this piece? Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's great fun. I mean, obviously the instrumentation is a little bit different to normal, so it's the same instrumentation as Schubert's Trout. So instead of the second violin, you've got the double bass, and that gives a really nice sonorous sound, and it gives me lots of tunes, which is brilliant. It's very pianistic, naturally, as she was a phenomenal pianist, so Annette over there has 1 million notes to play, but on the flip side, it's in very good keys for the piano, for us not so good, but it's really good fun to play, and you can really imagine it being played in a kind of Parisian drawing room on a sunny afternoon.
Lovely stuff. Thank you very much, Jessica. I'll let you get ready. Our final performance here tonight, then, the musicians of the Orchestra of Opera North with Louise Farrenc's Piano Quintet No. 2. And that concludes tonight's performance. A very special thank you to all our performers, and special thanks to our guest performer, Alice. You can see the Whitehall Road sessions returning 2 weeks today. That's at 6 p.m. on Thursday, the 20th of May, when you can look forward to performances from for the piano and for wind from Mozart and Herzogenberg. We do hope you can join us then. Until then, thank you very much for watching.